Namaste, Ila Ben.
Namaste, Kiran Bhai.
Nice to meet you virtually, though I would have preferred that since more than a year we have not met each other. Ila Ben. Ben means sister, and indeed Ila is my sister. But at the same time, here she is acting and she is as a dancer, as a person helping me to give us some ideas about dance and the Indian dance. She is a dancer. She has performed in many countries, starting from India itself, in various parts of India, but also all over Europe, America, and other countries too. So, but that classical dance, Indian classical dance, which is Kathak. Kathak by itself means, Kathakar means the one who tells stories, and the stories of what I would say, the ancient stories of Ramayana, Mahabharata, and the poems of love between Krishna and Radha, or love between gopis and Krishna. So these are the stories of Indian culture, which is imbibed. Everybody knows this story. But at the same time, when it is expressed by poems, when it is expressed by the dance, it becomes more vivid and it touches the heart and soul of each individual. So here we are with Ila Ben. So you have consecrated your life to dance. At present, we are celebrating the International Day of Yoga, and I would like how dance and yoga are, in a way, one sort of the same path towards the divine or towards one's inner self. At the same time, yoga in the Western mind, which means some exercises, asanas, how do you combine all these things?
Namaste, Bhai. Thank you for in making me a part of this project of yours. I'm very happy to join this celebration of Yoga Day. Actually, all life is yoga according to our Indian tradition. And Indian classical dance, according to me, is yoga in motion or dynamic meditation. It is an integration of breath, postures, rhythm, music, and emotions. Same thing in yoga also. Yoga in action and movement becomes dance. Since I have specialized in one of the North Indian classical dance styles of India, I would like to briefly say something in general about dance. First of all, India is a country of festivals and celebrations. There are so many festivals, and no festival goes without music or dance. May it be tribal, folk, classical, but there is always music, dance involved, and all the people participate in it. And the tribal and folk dances, they don't have any set rules, but classical dances have some set rules. And classical dances, for classical dance, there is a shloka which aptly fits the rules of the classical dance, which shloka goes like this: Yato hasta tato drishti, yato drishti tato mana, yato mana tato bhava, yato bhava tato rasa. Where the hands go, there the eyes follow. Where the eyes go, there the mind follows. Where the mind is, there the expression of emotions. And where the expression of emotions are, there the rasa is created. So this is the rule of classical dances. One who is perfect in her dance would always follow these rules spontaneously or by learning, but she would look a perfect dancer.
I'm sorry, the
And
word rasa, we understand in the ordinary sense, rasa means juice. A fruit juice is, orange juice is the rasa of orange. Then the sugarcane juice is the rasa of sugarcane. So first meaning for in mind comes the rasa. Means really speaking, the rasa of the dancing is something also interesting. I hear, I understand. Secondly, in Ayurveda, we speak of the 6 rasas, the 6 tastes. That is a bitter, sweet, then other tastes like, yes, I even forget, chili taste and other things. So 6 tastes are the tastes as we put it in Ayurveda. But now what I understand that there are 9 rasas or something like that in dance. Is it true that 9
yes,
sorts of things? And what are those rasas?
yes, we have 9 rasas, but rasa here doesn't mean the same thing as you're describing, like in Ayurveda. This is very different. I think it is the rasa of the heart or the mind or the soul, whatever you say. And it is like rasa, love, the erotic sentiment, or the dominant state of this rasa is Shringar rasa, which has a dominant state, which is love. We have lot of rules which are written in the Bharatanatyam Shastra, and how to express them. There are bhavas, anubhavas, sansari bhavas, and different ways of expressing the same rasa with at different times, with different characters. And we have rasa, this Shringara rasa in union, Shringara rasa in separation. In the same way, we have Hasya rasa, we have Adbhut rasa, we have Raudra rasa, we have Bhayanak rasa.
Hasya rasa is the laughter. Is it so?
Yes, it's the laughter.
Can you show something or tell us or demonstrate by a word or a gesture or something like that?
Yes, yes. Shringar rasa is the expression of love. So if it's an expression of love between the mother and child, it would be like the mother is caressing the child with all her love, which is called Vatsalya Bhavana in our Indian this thing. And if it's love between Bhakta and Bhagwan, we say the devotee and the God. So it would be like he is fully immersed in his bhajans, in his songs, and his devoted prayers. It could be between 2 young lovers. Now it would be very different, the expression of Shringar Rasa, that the lovers are looking at each other, shying a little, and in many different ways it's expressed. This is very shortly the Shringar Rasa. Then we have Hasya Rasa. Hasya is done in many different ways. For example, we have clowns on the stage sometimes to make the people laugh. And it's done in many different ways. And we have the Karun Rasa, which is very sad, and the dancer, that the audience is made to feel cry also sometimes when such an expression is done. So bhava, expression, is the bridge between the audience and the artist. To create that rasa, the audience experience that rasa if a certain expression is done, and they imagine the experience and they feel and they are immersed into it. A sort of, when they empathize, a sort of catharsis happens. So these are the rasas. When the Raudra rasa is described, or when Bhayanak rasa is described, or when odious, disgusting, that is also one rasa we have. And the last is Shant, meditation, meditative rasa. So we have all these rasas, and we have set rules for describing them. Some of the classical dance styles have a detailed hand gesture movements to describe the different emotions on the stage. Now, for example, Kathakali, it has a very detailed hand gesture movement, and all the classical dance styles, they use hand gesture movements. All the classical dance styles, they evolve with the history and geography of the country. But to tell you in very short, we have some single hand gestures, some double hand gestures. For example, single hand.
Can you give us some example?
Yeah, this is called Pataka. There is a list, there is a big group of hand gestures. This is Prataka, Tripataka, like that we have. And just to signify something, because classical dancers never used any props or things to express the subject they were depicting. So they would use hand gestures. So there are single hand gestures. For example, if I'm showing a flower, I would show like this. With double hand, I would show the lotus like this. With double hand, I would show water like this. And fish in water like this. And I would show a flower and a bee or a brahmar like this. And deer I would show like this, with all the body movements, and the hand like this. There is the shankha. The shankha could be shown like this. And there are lots of hand gestures like this. Just this is a small example of some hand gestures. So this is the way of dance. Then we have like dance exercises the body also. When the dancer is doing the technique part, it exercises the body. So when there we don't have any meaning, but the technique itself is very entertaining, very engrossing, very very important for a dancer. And for that, to keep the body fit, I think one must do yogasanas, one must do pranayama. Indian dance actually, it's not only physical, it's not only the body. It has a lot to do with the spirit. It takes you, it connects you to the divine. So they say that Krishna's flute, the play of Krishna's flute, is the song of songs, calling the human soul to become one with the divine soul. And gopis are the perfect example of the love between Krishna and the human soul. Krishna, the divine, and the human soul.
You were just talking a little while ago about a gopi going to fetch water or something, and Krishna comes. Yes. Can you tell us that story again?
Yes, yes. That is a small kavit we say in Kathak, composed by my Guruji. And it says that Gopi is going to fetch. Those days they didn't have any taps and bathrooms, so they went to fetch water at the river. So all friends together they would go, and Krishna always was with his friends hiding and doing pranks. So they were going with a pitcher of mud on their head, and Krishna in between comes and stops, and the friends, and they stop them and they ask for something, and these girls, these gopis, they deny. They show as if they don't like their presence, but from their heart they love their presence. From their heart they want it. The kavita goes like this. मैं जाती थी मधुर धुन चली रे गुमान मेरे सिर दर गागर में तो डगर नगर की गिल ही मेरो की कान मांगी रे अनोखी दान कहे वो न जावत बीच डगर की आगे देखूं पीछे देखूं कोई सखी संग नहीं करक गई सारी चूरी कर की कर मोरा पकड़ कलाई मोरे दारी थे 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 थे. So Krishna is stopping, trying to break their chudi, means the bangles, but they like it. They do as if they don't, but they like it. So this is the love between the Bhakta and the Bhagwan. This is one kind of.
But I would like you to again describe it more in detail, that when she keeps the head like this, that is the pride of the...
Yeah, this shows Guman, means the pride. Proud Gopi is going
proud
to the
gopis, yes.
river. Yeah, and this signifies the veil, the gungat we say, the veil, one hand, because we didn't use any props. We didn't use any, means I wouldn't really cover my head with the sari, but I would show it with hand. So it could be one hand, it could be two hands, it could be, means many different ways. So this is the veil. So she is going with one holding like this, and then with her pitcher of water, and then in between the way is shown like this it may be, like this it may be, and then Krishna is always mostly signified by showing the murali, the flute, and he stops them. So he is like a young boy standing to stop them, and then they are as if they don't want it, and then all this is the hand movement with the chudi and all this.
How beautiful! Yes. Oh, do something else, another kavita, just like this, so that we can understand.
One more small kavita of Shiva. It is Chandra tapan kar aarati Shiva ki jijikat hula hula ganga khalak naachat shankar dhadan kirtakada kirtakathundunda 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 tada kirtakathundunda 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 tada kirtakathundunda kirtakathundunda kirtakathundunda. This describes Parvati, the consort of Shiva, doing the arati. Chandra tapana kar arati Shiva ki. Chandra tapana is the, this signifies the moon on the head of Shiva, and arati Shiva ki is done by Parvati. She is praising him, she is worshipping him. Then arati Shiva ki jijikata hula hula. This describes the water. Water from where? From the jata of Shiva. From his head, because he had that water, Ganga coming from his jata is the traditional story. So this is the water falling. Ganga khalakata arati Shiva ki jijikata hula hula Ganga. Nachata Shankara. This is the Lord, the Nataraja. Nachata Shankara dhadan na kirtakta. He is the Lord of the dancers, he shows his Raudra Rupa. So, Tadanna Kirtak, and then this Kirtak Tuntunda, these are the Nritta bols, the drummers' beats, which are done lot with the legs and the hands. This is another small kavita by my Guruji.
Lovely. Tell us something more about the dance as you felt it, or why do you teach the dance, or why did you learn the dance, or what made you choose the dance?
I think the dance was in my body since I was a child. And you and Kaka, our father, you people inspired me to train myself more into that. So that's why I specialized into it. And then slowly I got interested and could understand the depth of it, could understand the spirituality of it, could feel that this is meant for me and my body. So I continued doing, and I still continue teaching. And while teaching also, you learn a lot through the students, how to tackle with it, and you learn a lot. While performing also, you learn a lot. And you understand that there is a kind of connection between the spirit and the body. It isn't only the physical, the body only. It has something to do with the inner being. So it connects you with the highest. When you are fully into it, when you are purely into it, when you are completely into it.
Yes, and then once I remember that somebody in the West, I don't know whether it was in Paris or in somewhere in Germany or in Denmark or somewhere, one dancer was looking at your dance, and then she said, but why in India you do not have mirrors to correct your postures? And then you replied something like this, that in India, the external body image is one thing, but really speaking, the inner body has more importance, and therefore by the emotion, an Indian dancer goes within oneself, and what one feels from within, what one can correct from within, has more importance than just the correction of the outer physical body. Something like that. But do you remember
Yes,
that thing? Can you add
yes.
something more to that?
Yes, very true. I think you feel from inside when your posture is correct or not. And as you said, you feel from within. You don't need any guidance from outside. When you are fully into it, you feel from within that the posture is correct, the gesture is correct, the expression is physically and mentally and vitally and spiritually, everywhere it is on the right place. So yeah, it is true, because there is a connection between the spirit and the physical. It's not only the physical. You can feel while seeing the artist that this one is more connected with the inner being and that one is less connected with the inner being. You can immediately feel, because a thing done by heart directly touches the heart. So as I said, bridge between the audience and the artist. So there is another example to show you how the shloka which I recited just now, Yato Hasta Tato Drishti, where for example, I'm having a ball in my hand, I'm throwing it and catching it with another hand. I'm throwing it and catching it with another hand. So this I am doing with my hand. There is no real ball, and I am catching with my hand. So the ball is being carried by the eyes from one hand to another, and that is imagined by the audience, and they also feel that there is a ball. If I'm looking at you, if I'm calling you, I would just do this, or with my eyes also I would do this, and that is the expression which is understood by the audience also.
Mhm. Oh, how nice. It's
So
very
these
interesting.
are, yeah, these are something. There is a lot of technique part of dance also, where we have nritta, where we have a lot of footwork in my style of dance, especially Kathak. We have one item called only Tatkar, where we have concentration. Lot of concentration is required, so mind has to be very meditative. And for example, when the music is played by the drummers, drums also are very important in my style of dance. So, for example, if a single speed is being played and if I have to do the double of it, the triple of it, the fourth speed, I can go on and on without breaking the rhythm, which is called laya in our, and it's mind-boggling. It's not easy unless you master and unless you concentrate fully. If you are not fully into it, it's not possible. So this is a kind of technique we have. Lot of words we have to remember, which we don't, we like, I was surprised when I was seeing some Western musicians and players always referring to their papers and looking at, whereas Indian singers or dancers, they don't have to remember. I don't have to, my students ask me, from where do you, have you written down all these things which you are teaching us? I say, no, I remember because my teacher taught me, and my teacher remembers because his teacher taught him. And he has everything in his mind. That is professional. Like if I'm saying, dhatita, dhatita, dha dhatita, kad dhatita, det takita, dikita, dadin, takita, dadin, tatakita, takita, takita, nakita, takata, 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 dikita, dana, da, takita, dana, da. All these words I need not have to read again and again to remember. I must remember if I want to dance. So once I was performing here in Pondicherry, and me and my Guruji, my teacher, we didn't have time to practice together. He just joined me on the train, and we reached here. The next day I was performing. So on the day of the program only, he would just sign. He would just tell me the first word of something, and I would start doing the whole thing because I knew it. I had learned from him. But all this we remember in our mind only. Mind has to be a very computerized.
Now
Train.
these words, the dick, tin, or tidik or something, I don't know. Does that have any meaning, or it is just a sort of?
No, it doesn't mean anything. It is just the technique part. And it's these are the words coming out of the drums. Different drums have different sounds. So the teachers have, hearing the sounds, they have composed this kind of words. And there are a lot of different intricate rhythms being played. It's mind-boggling that the way they remember. And if you have observed the Indian singers or players, not the drum players, but especially the singers, why? When they are doing, they're not referring any papers. They're closing their eyes because they're connecting themselves, their inner self, to the Lord or to their art. And that makes them close their eyes to remember, to sing.
In the Indian music, we generally hear that first part of the music is sort of an alap, where the drummers don't come into action. Is there something like that in the dance?
Yes, in dance, in my style of dance, we call it that, where we have a lot of nice, now here it's not possible to show you the glide of my dance. With the legs, we glide slowly, softly, and it's like very much in air, as if I'm gliding, as if I'm flying. It's very softly done, very delicately done. And that is the beginning. So it's a kind of slow warming up to start to take the audience from slow to a little faster to a little faster. And
Okay,
it is like alap.
now as we are running
It is
short
called
of
heart in
time,
my.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but can you tell a few words to end, and then we'll go beyond that.
Yes.
The last
Yes.
word, what I would like to hear, the experience of love, the experience of this you showed to us. But generally, if we think of experience of God or experience of something beyond, is it possible by the dance?
I think as the philosophers say, arts, especially the Indian classical arts, are a shortcut to the divine. And I think that is very true, because once you are fully devoted or fully devoted to your art, you can understand and you can feel that. So I think it is very true that my soul, when I'm doing something, anything about the dance I have learned, I feel as if my soul is getting some food. It nourishes my soul.
Then
The technique part or whatever.
Once you told me about one Western person who gifted you something, a ballerina or something. What was that about? Can you tell us again?
Yeah, that time I was very young and I was myself not aware of how much deep I was into my dance, and you only had explained to them about a little bit about the Indian dance. And after my performance, a lady comes to me and gives me a nice statue of ballerina, which I've still kept. And she says, she gave me a written note with it. She says that I don't know who or what divine is, but I experienced the divine when I saw you dancing. So that was a great, great compliment for me. And yeah, so as you were saying to
yes, so what did that lady said? That because of your dance, without
I
knowing
could
the
feel,
divine?
I don't know who or what the divine is, but I could feel the divine when I saw you dancing.
Oh, how nice. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yes. Okay. And what else would you like to say to the Western public, to the French public, which you know now quite a lot, because since 1978 you have been coming to France quite often and you have performed many a time here.
Yes, to them, I just have to say that become warm like Indian people, don't just involve your mind always into everything. Think from your soul and from your heart, and that would make us more attached to each other and understand each other more. And I think that would be really good to connect with each other.
How nice. But I really liked that the dance or the art is a shortcut. We always like shortcuts. Instead of taking a long route, and by the practice of yogasanas, we torture our body and do this, do that. We try to meditate, and it's true that we try to meditate, and it's difficult to meditate, difficult to stop thinking. Whereas when we see you dance, or when we see a beautiful dance, really speaking, we do experience that the silence of the mind and the joy of the dance. Oh, thank you.
Yes, yes, yoga is that. And I think, as I was telling you in the very beginning, Indian life itself was yoga. Everywhere it was a way of life. Everywhere nothing was without the divine involved in it. So I think that brings a different air to the country, different faith to the country. And our in Lord of the dancers is Nataraja Shiva, who inspires us for all this. So I end my program with a shloka dedicated to him. Angikam bhuvanam yasya vachikam sarvavangmayam aharyam chandrataradi vam nama satvikam shivam.
Namaste. Thank you very much. Merci
Thank
beaucoup. Ilaben, c'était vraiment une très grande joie de vous
Merci.
écouter, de vous voir, et aussi c'était très touchant. En réalité, je dirais comme Shakespeare he says that if music be the food of love, play on. Similarly, I would say that if the dance is there, go on, continue, and that would fill our heart with joy, that will fill our heart with the emotions, as Tagore said, that we are vibrating. So let us vibrate with this emotions of well-being. It would be a great message for the International Day of Yoga. Narendra Modi ji, who has introduced this day as an event for the whole world. France was already celebrating this day by Music Day, but now adds yoga, and grâce à vous, grâce à toi, il y a la danse aussi qui participe. Merci et à bientôt. Namaste.
Merci.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.